Hey, this is your old buddy, Reverend Bill Ryan. And today I thought that we would go over some celebrity reactions to Donald Trump's victory almost a week ago. Um, so I think it's really important that we listen to all these very intelligent, very well uh, educated people, and I say that with the utmost sarcasm. Actually, we're going to start off with one which I think is pretty much on the mark. But yeah, let me read these out to you, and I'll give you some kind of comments along the way, and see how you feel about them. Remember, I don't have the banner on the bottom. Oh, sorry about that. But if you do want to reach me, my email is revbillryan@gmail.com. That's rev.billryan@gmail.com. And I welcome any comments that you have. And if you have any ideas about things you want me to cover, we can do that too. So, and if you don't like me, let me know that. I mean, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Okay, so the first one uh, is done by the director of that movie, Don't Look Up, which I've not seen, by the way. I might see that tonight. That's with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence. The director is Adam McKay, and he expressed frustration with the past year has been handled by the Democrats. He said, "Who would have guessed? Lying about Biden's cognitive health for 2 years, refusing to do an open convention for a new nominee, never mentioning public health care or embracing fracking, the Cheneys and a year-long slaughter of children in Gaza wouldn't be a winning strategy." Anyway, he later added, "It's time to abandon the Democratic Party." Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way. Let's jump right into the brain trust that we call the diehard Democrats now. Rapper Cardi B, who, by the way, doesn't live that far from me. I'm not exactly sure where, but I think she's like maybe a mile away, I've heard. I don't know if I can say all this. I'm going to do the best I can because, I'm a minister. I don't want to be saying the stuff that she says. But let's see how far I can go with it. I hate ya all bad. Okay. She said this when asked if she would appear at Trump's inauguration during an Instagram live. She said, "I'm sick of you. Burn your effing hats, MF. I'm really sad. I swear to God, I'm really sad." I guess she's sad. "I refuse to comment." Oh, okay. I refuse to comment on Cardi B's response because it would be challenging like an old woman with a walker to a 50-yard dash. I mean, it's just embarrassing. So I'm going to leave poor Cardi B to say that she hates us all because we're all bad. Very good. Let's move on. Jamie Lee Curtis wrote that it would be a return to a more restrictive, some fear draconian time, and that minority groups will now be more afraid. But what it really means is that we wake up and fight, she wrote. Fight for women and our children and their future, and fight against tyranny one day at a time, one fight at a time, one protest at a time. That's what it means to be an American. Now, here's an interesting point. She's ready to start protesting and fighting, and he hasn't taken office yet. So I'm a little curious how much could he have done to call for mob resistance when he hasn't even taken office? Sounds to me like we might be, putting the cart in front of the horse, for lack of a better description. But why is she already calling for arms or run to arms? Let's move, let's go. And the guy's not taking office yet. He's just breathing air. I don't know. And besides, this is an actress whose popularity always escaped me. I mean, did she ever do a movie where she owned the lead and nailed a role? I don't think so. Perfect? No, 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 no. Trading Places? No, she was a minor player. It was all Bill Murray and not Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. The Fog? No, minor role. Might have been her first feature role outside of Halloween. Freaky Friday? No. Halloween, anyone who screams can run around bouncing, I think could have pulled that one off. She really hasn't done anything, really. And for someone who's done no movies of note, where she did Virus too, which was garbage. Um, she hasn't done anything. True Lies? No, that was Arnold Schwarzenegger. What has she ever done for her to like be on this high horse? She thinks she's Meryl Streep. Please. Another winner, John Cusack. If you guys remember him from the '80s, the fact that the country would choose to destroy itself by voting in a convicted felon rapist and Nazi is a sign of deep nihilism, to put it mildly. Well, John Cusack, congratulations. You used a nickel and dime word with nihilism. Thank you. Did not think you were capable. Nazi, what is this with calling people Nazis? Is that like the latest thing? It's a terrible thing to be called. And for some reason, they put that label, they being the crazy liberals, on every conservative Republican around. It's nuts. But, again, they call us Nazis and we say trans women aren't women. And they're like, oh, you've crossed the line. How dare you, sir? It's ridiculous. I don't know. I think John Cusack, he needs to worry about his career more and stop isolating the audience. From where I sit, this guy has not done a movie in a long time. Runaway Jury, Better Off Dead. I think Being John Malkovich, Say Anything. Does anyone even remember these movies? I don't really think he can afford to piss off half the audience. And that's another point too here is I've met quite a few celebrities, not a ton, a few. And I've come to the conclusion that, the myth is much better than the actuality of meeting these people. I used to really like Claudia Christian. And I did actually meet her, and she seemed actually very nice and charming. But then I read her book, and in her book, and I don't want to get into details, but I ended up being very disappointed in her. William Shatner. I mean, he was my hero growing up. I was a little boy sitting in the lazy boy, pretending it was the captain seat, and I was blasting off on the Enterprise. I think everyone knows he's a jerk now. Went to one of these science fiction conventions, and just to be in the same room with him, you had to pay like $50 or $100 or something ridiculous, which I wouldn't do. And at times there are some guys that do live up to your expectations and beyond. I met Richard Biggs, God rest his soul. He died shortly after I met him, but he was a really, really nice guy. And I had my baby at the time, and he took her, gave her a kiss, and said, let her know that I'm the first man to ever kiss her. And a real sweet guy, but most of the time they're really disappointments. So, I think the thought of meeting these people is much better than the actuality of meeting them. So anyway, I guess what I'm trying to get to is these people, they think they're hot, and they're not. They're disappointing. Let's go on to Christina Applegate. My child is sobbing because her rights as a woman may be taken away, she wrote. Why? And if you disagree, please unfollow me. I got to tell you, I'm half thinking I should follow her just for the satisfaction of unfollowing her, which is too bad. Back in the 80s, I used to watch Married with Children. I had a mad crush on Christina Applegate. Again, I mean, when you get to know these people a bit better, social media has really trashed them because they get on social media and they pull their pants down. I mean, you can see everything and know about them. And I'd say 9 out of 10 times, you do not like what you hear. And she's definitely one of them. I'm sorry what she's going through. I truly am. I don't want her to suffer. But I mean, she's worried about her 13-year-old daughter, Sadie. I did some research on this. Her daughter, I think, just turned 13, and she's worried about her abortions already. And the daughter's got POTS, which is a condition. I don't know a lot about it, but it basically makes it hard to stand up and do certain things. Standing around is more difficult. So she's got bigger problems than worrying about her first abortion when she's 13. So, that's my thought there. And God bless Christina. I hope she's not in too much pain, but stay out of politics, especially when you're worried about your 13-year-old daughter getting abortions. It's just seems a little bit misguided. Let's see. Ariana Grande wrote, she's holding the hand of every person who is feeling the immeasurable heaviness of the outcome today. Is this the same Ariana Grande who walked into a donut shop and spit on all the donuts? I think it is. So I think she's got other things to worry about than elections, like maybe how not to spit in people's food. Viola Davis thanked Harris for her bravery and for loving America's promise. She said, "I am and will forever be proud." Okay, Viola, let's analyze you. She did a movie called The Woman King. The Woman King is a true story, kind of, about a woman's tribe. And they made them out to be glorious warriors, but they weren't. I'm actually very familiar with African culture for a number of reasons. They really helped me through the bad times when the witchcraft attacks were very bad. A lot of my friends over there are very good friends. I'd do anything for them. Well, let me tell you, I don't remember the name of the tribe, but this tribe that was so wonderful, they made a movie about it, actually captured Black people as slaves and sold them to whomever, the French, Spanish, English. People think slavery was only in the United States. Well, that's not true. That's not true. As a matter of fact, if my history is right, I believe the United States was one of the first to stop slavery. And this women tribe was really specialized in catching their own and selling them off. It was so bad that when the countries decided they didn't want to do slavery anymore, they still tried to capture and discount slaves. That's how they made their money. So they were working very hard to bring back slavery. Now, originally slotted to do this was this actress from Black Panther. She's Kenyan, so I apologize if I'm mispronouncing her name. I said I'm friends with Africans. I did not say I can pronounce their names. Lupita Nyong'o. Lupita, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. All due respect, that's the best I can do. I'm an Irishman. Lupita Nyong'o was originally hired to play the role, and she did her research. When she was, I think she was on set, and she was doing her research, and she found out all about these people. And the next morning, she just threw the script down and said, "I'm not doing this. This is not right," because she realized these were not the heroes; they were devils, and she was going to make them look like they were the heroes. Viola Davis had no problem playing the role, and she did. And honestly, if I was African, I would never forgive her for doing that. Very similar, and this is probably another podcast, very similar with the Hotel Rwanda. I actually dated and was engaged to a Rwandan woman. And she explained to me that whole movie and book are lies. He actually would only help those women that paid him off and let him, shall we say, use them sexually. If they refused, he'd throw them out in the street and let them be killed. Uh, so not a very admirable man. And I asked her, well, why would they make the movie and the book like that? She goes, oh, he wrote the book and he was consultant to the movie, and he's a liar. So he was able to tell them, how he wanted it. But yeah, he was no hero. He was not Schindler, believe me. Who else we got here? Oh, Stephen King. He wrote, there's a sign you can see in many shops that sell beautiful but fragile items, lovely to look at, delightful to hold, but once you break it, then it's sold. You can say the same about democracy. You can? I'm not sure I follow that one. I don't know. I mean, lovely to look at, delightful to hold, but once you break it, then it's sold. How does that reflect democracy at all? It's lovely to hold, but if you break it, it's sold. Okay, I guess it makes sense in his head. I do know Stephen King. I know of Stephen King. I worked in theaters for many, many, many years, and I know theaters managers talk, and I know a theater that he used to go to all the time. And let's just say, in the nicest possible way, next time you go to the movies, Stephen, I would recommend that you get some manners, and maybe you want to clean up a little bit. Just a thought. Okay, now this is Duncan Jones, director of Moon and son of David Bowie. He posted that he was feeling very Brexity. He was feeling Brexity. I didn't know Brexity was an adverb. While expressing pessimism over the millions who voted for Trump. I think we may have overestimated the goodness in people, he said. I'm sorry. Okay. I think we might be overestimating the goodness in people. Yeah. Who are you again? Oh, you directed Moon. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that a couple of times, unfortunately. What an absolute mess. That's Sam Rockwell. Kevin Spacey. As a fan of science fiction, I can tell you right out, I never want to see that movie again. I think it should be burnt. I think we may have overestimated the goodness in people. I think we might have overestimated the talent in Duncan Jones. All right, moving along. Singer Ethel Cain called the situation bleak and had a strongly worded message for Trump voters. If you voted for Trump, I hope that peace never finds you. Instead, I hope clarity strikes you someday like a clap of lightning, and you have to live the rest of your life with the knowledge and guilt of what you've done and who you are as a person. I see. Well, let me say, as someone who has been married 4 times and raised 4 children, I can assure you, I have never found peace, nor am I ever very hopeful that I ever will find peace. So you've got that to hang your hat on, Ethel Cain. Yeah. I have, however, found my sensibilities to know the disastrous policies of the Democrats and that they had to stop before this country fell completely to pieces. I mean, we were circling the drain. There's no doubt in my mind if Kamala got in, there'd be no hope for us. I think we'd quickly become a third world country. All right, now on to our good friend, Whoopi Goldberg, a brilliant mind. I mean, you hear about Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking. Nothing can compare to the brilliant mind of Whoopi Goldberg. All you need to do is watch The View. You can just feel all this brilliance coming out of her. She said, "He's the president. I'm still not going to say his name. That's not going to change." Her host, Sunny Hostin, said she was profoundly disturbed by the results. Yeah. Well, let me say that is very mature to say that way. Refusing to say his name is going to have a very profound effect in the world, really, on just about everything. There's no doubt about that. Seriously, I mean, Whoopi, why don't you just do something equally as mature and hold your breath until your face turns blue? It'll be equally effective. What is not saying his name going to do? No one cares about The View. I think the only people that watch The View probably do it to see how bad it really is. I think I looked the other day. I think IMDb gives it like 2.3 stars or something. It's a horrible show. Now, the British author, Philip Pullman, never heard of him, he simply wrote, "Goodbye, America. It was nice knowing you." Goodbye, America. It was nice knowing you. Oh, please don't leave. That would ruin everything. Let Trump deport you. Since when did it be an honor? Since when did it be an honor for people from other parts of the world to come here and criticize us? I mean, seriously, we elected Trump. What did the royal family ever did? I mean, all they do is pretend to have power. Everyone knows that the prime minister runs the country, but they all run around pretending the royal family has power. And let me tell you this, all the royal family does is continue to be the world's largest welfare recipients. So please, author Philip Pullman, leave or wait for Trump to throw you out. But we don't want your kind here. Goodness gracious, God save the king, whatever. If I hear one more royal story, I just honestly think I'm going to jump out a window. The problem is, if I read it and I'm on the first floor, then I'll just jump out a window and it'll only be like 6 feet in the air. So I'll probably just hurt my ankle. And then instead of dying, I'll just be in a lot of pain and be irritated with the royal family. So maybe I shouldn't. Anyway, that's it for today on the my impression of the celebrities and what they think. And I think anyone that actually cares what any of these people think, they're wrong. I mean, I used to like, George Clooney and Leonardo DiCaprio until I started hearing them open their mouths. And now I know that they're morons. Nothing more. These people, social media has really hurt these people. Because back in the day, you could like somebody and, you didn't know that they were bleeding heart liberals or morons or whatever you want to know. Because who tell you? I mean, I suppose if you've got enough gossip columns in the newspaper, or you made a point of getting, People Magazine, you might hear some gossip, or National Enquirer, God forbid, or the Star, God forbid. But generally, the population, they didn't really know these people were airheads. But most of them have never seen the inside of a classroom. I don't think Jennifer Lawrence even went to high school. If she did, she certainly did not graduate. So the fact is, act, and we'll enjoy it. But really, if you can stay off social media so you don't pop the bubble that we have, this perception we have that you're actually not morons, that would be a real nice deal for all of us. And I do know people that will no longer go see celebrities because of something they've heard or read. So these celebrities are really, really hurting themselves by thinking that they can be themselves. And they can. We just won't like them anymore, and we'll skip out of the movies. I mean, what do you think the movies are doing so poorly now? Anyway, okay, I'm done. Hey guys, thanks for everything. If you enjoy this, please like, share, subscribe. If you got any ideas, please send them along. rev.billryan@gmail.com. And I'll see you tomorrow. Hope this is good for you too. Talk to you later. Bye.